right. Good morning, everybody. No music. We're not going to waste any time or anything because I'm waiting for the trial to start. Um, I think my thumbnail says day 3. I've got to change it to day 4. So make a little short video talking about my impressions from yesterday's trial activities, and then that'll get me up to talk about what's going on today. Um, I think that yesterday was really the first day that I felt like, okay, we have a trial, right? Up until now, um, I just their witnesses, other than Jeffrey Lacoste and Wendy, the other witnesses are just sort of useless, in my opinion, not because they were not involved. I think they were involved. I think that's absolutely clear and no question about it. The problem is the number of lies that have been told. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what in the world is wrong with Katie Magbanua. Um, I don't know what's wrong with this woman. The number of lies that I mean, she just is one of these people that she lies on a whim. It just whenever she opens her mouth, it's just another variation of a lie. So how is that useful in the prosecution of a murder case? And then the crowning glory is when she showed up in court to testify against Charlie, in saying, well, I lied all those times before, but I'm not lying now. But then she was revealed to be a liar on that day as well. So at this point, I really believe with the judge's direction, I think, the jury is going to ultimately say, we cannot, we can't deal with what Lewis or Katie, we can't deal with what they have said. We can't use it for establishment of fact because there's so many lies from both of them. They both have a reason to say whatever the prosecutor wants them to say. And frankly, I'm going to tell you, I'm feeling like the information has been cultivated by this prosecutor in a way that is maybe skirting some legal issues that they had. So yesterday they had text that were attributed to Charlie Adelson, again, going along with the need to present Charlie not as the person that he is, but to present Charlie as some sort of Al Pacino version of a South Florida mafiosa, right? That we get all of these heavy suggestions of cocaine. And did Charlie go outside, or was he sweating a lot? Or how did you witness Charlie leave and go to the bathroom? Gosh, I don't know. I've been at dinners with people or lunches with people and get up and leave the table to go to the bathroom. What exactly are you suggesting? How in the world is it that Charlie getting up and going to a restroom is part of a murder case? Why do you care? But then they start after the questions about getting up and going to the bathroom, then they start, well, was he sweating a lot? Well, oh, he talks a lot. So to me, this is really weakening when Georgia or Sarah do bring evidence that's legit, that feels solid. It reduces its effectiveness because you're thinking, why are you what is the personal nature against this defendant that you need to paint him in a picture that is not accurate, that is not who he is. This idea of uh Charlie he's all the time out at the nightlife and all the clubs and oh, he's just got an endless stream of women and girls and drinking. Oh, does Charlie smoke marijuana? Did you ever smoke marijuana with Charlie? Well, I don't know. It may surprise you guys, but do you know how many people do smoke marijuana in 2023? In fact, if you live in Colorado, you can pick up a box full of Willie's Select as you're getting your milk and your bread. And marijuana is not considered indicative of uh, mafia like behavior. So it's a very uncomfortable, for those people that are not on this bandwagon of, kill the beast. We have to hang Charlie Adelson and then we got to hang his mother and blah blah blah. If you're legitimately watching this trial with a discerning, rational eye, you're feeling uncomfortable about all of this. He said, she said, the impressions about what kind of person Charlie is, and the attempts to paint him in a poor light. And yesterday it went just a little bit further than that, because the prosecution actually literally put up some text message visuals. They put up these text messages, and it was sort of like Katie was going, yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about, or he's got this problem or that problem. And then they attribute Charlie, or I think Katie says something like, yeah, that's not good. And then they have Charlie saying, oh, he's just a pussy. He's a punk. He didn't know what he's talking about. What a jerk. And they're characterizing Charlie as being this very aggressive, foul-mouthed, angry kind of beast. And it is Katie who's going, yeah, that's not good. That is not good, right? Well, then we find out yesterday, because Charlie Adelson has a real defense attorney, and the defense attorney says, wait a minute, that is actually not correct. Those were not the words of Charlie Adelson, were they? And then the witness has to go back and say, no, it wasn't. I've got them switched. Charlie Adelson is the one saying, yeah, that is not good. It is Katie Magbanoa, the one who is deep in with the Latin Kings. She is the one saying, oh, he's just a pussy. He's no good. He's a jackass. He doesn't know nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Right there on the stand, the prosecution's witness is impeached. And if you go over and you listen, like in Mentor Lawyer or some of these other channels that are covering the trial, they're really invested in this case. They're just like, oh, Georgia's bringing the bomb today. What a great prosecutor. They're lowering the hammer on Charlie Adelson today. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, where's the credibility here? Stop. You can build her up and you can talk about what a great prosecutor she is. I don't mind any of that. But I think when there's people that are listening to these cases and they're legitimately interested in people's opinions, maybe we need to be presenting things accurately. And I would like to do a shout out for Peter Tragos on The Lawyer, because he was sort of like me yesterday. He was sitting there and he was like, wait a minute. No, I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday. He was like, wait, I thought that was a good point. What do you mean? How many of you guys do think that Charlie Adelson is innocent? So Peter Tragos, thank you for having some integrity where this case is concerned. Not that Charlie Adelson is innocent. I don't know if the man is innocent. And I heard some things yesterday that I said, oh, I think Donna Adelson has a legal problem. I still have not heard Charlie has a legal problem. I heard a man yesterday on those audio recordings that did not know what the hell his mother was talking about, that was completely confused why she was acting so bizarre and so strange. He was like, well, is it the IRS? What, were you served papers? Mom, are you being blackmailed? He literally sounded like a guy that didn't know why his mom was being so weird. Now, mom was being weird. Mom, Donna, if you're listening to this, you may have a problem. But I still have not heard anything that as a juror would make me go, yep, they got their man. Charlie's the guy. This is the Charlie hour, and you got your perpetrator. I haven't heard that yet. I'm still waiting. Donna was up to something. Donna was up to no good. I think that's clear. But again, and this is going to make people mad, I think Donna, I can think of other reasons that Donna could have been talking like that and acting like that when she was talking to Charlie, saying she was glad her husband wasn't home to witness this, yada, yada. For example, we know that it is Donna who has been paying the money to Katie, right? We know that. It's like she sat down and wrote out checks for a year's worth of these $480 something checks, right? What if, again, this is a what if, this is not a reasonable doubt, is what I'm talking about here. Is there some reasonable doubt? Well, what if Donna has a drug problem? What if Donna likes opiates or Adderall or I mean, she's a very thin woman. Maybe she really cares about her weight, but maybe Katie is a conduit to being able to procure those types of drugs. $500 every 7 to 10 days might get you there, depending on how many she's taken. I've worked with people before that were taking as many as 20, 30 Lorcet a day. Their addiction was so extreme. So perhaps there's another agreement between Katie and Donna that Charlie doesn't know a damn thing about, nor does Dad know anything about it. And so she's like, "Whoa, we got a problem with Katie." And then he's like, "Why are you talking about Katie?" Well, I mean, she didn't bring up Katie, but I'm just saying, if she had said that, then he would have been, "Mom, are you crazy? Why are you talking about Katie?" We don't know. This is my point. We don't know. We haven't been given the evidence to know this. But Donna, you do have some legal problems, I think. I think from what I've watched so far, I would be more inclined to vote guilty on Donna Adelson knowing than on Wendy and Charlie. That phone call yesterday with Charlie, he did not seem to know what in the world his mother was talking about. And I am not so short-sighted as to believe that everybody had to know what everybody else was doing. I don't think Wendy acted like she knew that Dan Markel was being killed. I think her reaction was shock and fear and grief. I think that kind of thing is hard to, her reaction, that's hard to fake. It is hard to make snot. It is hard to make tears It is difficult. So she also was not randomly crying at will. It seemed like after the initial shock, once she calmed down during the interrogation, or not the interrogation, but when they were telling her about Danny getting shot, it seemed like her tears after that would always coincide with talking about her boys. That is typical. That is what you see with parents. They may not get emotional talking about something terrible, but when the topic of a child comes up, they get very emotional, right? So I have one more thing to say that makes me skeptical of the evidence that was presented yesterday, and it was the guy that did the bump. They said he was actually undercover with the Latin Kings. Please stay with me on this. He's undercover with Latin Kings, right? He has infiltrated the Latin Kings. Lewis is royalty in the Latin Kings. Is no one else going, wait a minute, why the hell do you have your Latin Kings undercover guy approaching Donna Adelson on the street when Katie and Lewis and Sigfredo are all, eyes deep in the Latin Kings? And you're addressing a guy that's killed up north who was involved with mob activity in New York. Does this not look messy to anyone? This is the strangest case I've ever watched. It is. It's the weirdest case. So Bling says, but hold on, 2 years in when the bump happened, Charlie and Donna both knew, according to their new version of the defense, and they were being blackmailed. And Lewis is already in prison, right? So the question then is, maybe the blackmail version is correct, right? Maybe maybe this hit was done. Katie did make Charlie and his family a mark for money, and they did set them up. Again, I'm approaching this from the eyes of being a juror. What would I be willing to do at this point with what has been presented and in what way? And I'm not there yet. I'm not even close. I'm not even close with Charlie Adelson. Donna, you could be in trouble. You could be in trouble, but I don't see it. I don't see it. If they had been involved in the murder of a family member, the murder of their grandchild's father, who was not beating the kids up and beating Wendy up, he wasn't a violent, he was jaded. He was mad that she wanted a divorce, and he was doing what every other person in the United States of America does when they go through a divorce. They use the legal system against the person that betrayed them or abandoned them. Dan Markel even used the word abandoned in his legal filings. But that is not the kind of thing that makes a family decide to murder you. So now I want to bring up a name from the past. Do you remember another Dan, right? Another attorney husband named Dan who divorces his wife and proceeds to weaponize the legal system against her, and she ultimately acts out and murders him and his new wife in bed, right? I know that things get crazy. I know that when one person starts hurting another person, and it reaches a point of emotional abuse, protective people can step in and say, we have to stop this. Yeah, Betty Broderick, exactly. People that protective parents will step in and want to help and want to save them. But I'm going to direct you back to the police video of Wendy first talking with the police. Her friend comes in, Jane, and Jane is friends with her and with Jeffrey Lacoste. And Jane says, I heard there was a shooting and I thought Dan had assaulted you, quote unquote. That is fairly significant to me. That is something that was said in an authentic moment of truth. Why would a friend hear that there was a shooting at your old on the street you used to live and then go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, did he finally hurt her? Remember Johnny Depp? Remember when Amber Heard's sister said, you've done it now, Amber. You've done it now. You've gone and hurt him. You cut his finger off. You remember that? So why is Jane laying down, comforting Wendy in the police department and saying, I was so scared. I thought Dan had assaulted you. So the trial has started. The testimony has started today. So I'm going to end this live. I just kind of wanted to talk about what I thought were the points from yesterday that I feel like, yes, the prosecution made headway. It was headway to illustrate that Donna might have known what was going on. But if, as a juror listening to those recordings, Charlie just seemed like he thought his mom was a nut and was like, okay, Mom, I'll figure it out. Just don't worry about it. That's how he was. All right. I'm going to end this live. I'll start a new one with the new testimony for today. And I will talk to you guys later. I'll be making comment during the day, but I'm not going to interfere too much with testimony. So y'all are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit the thumbs up and I will talk to you later. Bye.